Two-time Super Bowl winner and future Pro Football Hall of Famer, first ballot guy, Peyton Manning. How are you, Peyton?
Hey, Rich. Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
No, thanks for calling in. It was a blast watching it. What was it like playing it, Peyton? What was that like, man?
Well, obviously the weather wasn't part of the plan. Both Tom and I got down there Thursday night and got to play Friday and Saturday and a couple practice rounds with Tiger and Phil, and the weather was just perfect. And then on Sunday, the heavens opened up. So that wasn't really what I was thinking about. I was pretty nervous just thinking about playing in perfect weather, much less playing in the rain and kind of trying to keep the club from falling out. But maybe in some ways it kind of helped relax a little bit because kind of your expectations kind of lower a little bit at that point. But as I said after the match, anytime you get to go behind the ropes in somebody else's field, right, playing with Tiger and Phil, I got the years ago hosted Saturday Night Live. You're behind the ropes. You're seeing how these actors and comedians go about their craft. I've always enjoyed those experiences, and what a great seat Tom and I had watching Phil and Tiger do their thing. And as you said, $20 million. I mean, that was the real winner. That's real money. It's going to get to some organizations that are helping out people who need it, and that was the best part about it.
Well, I mean, again, it's not the first time you've won in the rain in the state of Florida. Obviously, that you've had that feeling before.
It was a similar start, Rich, to my last kind of event in Florida in the rain. You're of course referring to Super Bowl 41 against the Bears. I've waited all my life and 9 years in the NFL to get to that game, and you have all these dreams of how it's going to start. It's raining. Devin Hester runs the opening kickoff back for a touchdown, and I throw an interception on my first series. So my first drive into the palmetto trees and having to have Tiger go in there and find it and tell me how to drop, that reminded me of Super Bowl 41.
I mean, I'm sitting at home and I'm thinking, like, that is just the last thing I would ever want to do. Certainly having nationally televised with Charles Barkley able to comment and chime in at any moment in time. But you were able to straighten it out. Tom, however, took a little bit longer. I've played before with playing partners or people in my group who are struggling. What was that like watching from your perspective?
It was a little awkward. I'm not going to lie. Tiger and I kind of had some things in the can ready for Phil and Tom. Tiger wanted to bring his 3 U.S. Open trophies with him in the car in the parking lot and have me carry one, have him carry one, and then go ask if Phil wanted to carry the other. So that got scratched, but he went with kind of the gold medal line, to Phil about, hey, do you want me to mark my ball with one of my U.S. Open gold medals? So I had a couple more for Tom as the Tiger, but when the golf didn't start out so well, we kind of called an Omaha audible on those, and just didn't feel that was appropriate at the time. And look, I could relate. I mean, I was with them, and it's no fun when you're playing by yourself in those conditions and not hitting it well. And so I thought he handled it well, and obviously kind of got back on track when he hit that awesome shot into the hole. So I thought he was a trooper the whole time, and both he and I were out of our comfort zone the entire time. I never felt comfortable really one time the entire day until it was probably over, but I was certainly glad we did it.
Peyton Manning here on the Rich Eisen Show. What concentration level does this game require that makes it even tougher than what you did professionally, Peyton?
Yeah, I mean, for a long time I've tried to relate football to golf, and in football, Rich, I kind of knew how to fix it, right? If things didn't, in that Bears game, right, it didn't start off well, but I kind of knew how to fix it, right? And you start going to plays that you know really well, and taking your check downs and kind of getting some completions and get your confidence going. And now you're back throwing the ball down the field. So football, I could fix it. Golf, I've never really been able to fix it. I kind of always hope it's my day that day. It just kind of depends on how you're hitting it. And although I did make some improvements the other day, it's just different. I mean, you can try harder in football, I think, and it can work for you. Golf, it almost works the opposite way. The harder you strain and kind of stress and grind, sometimes the worse you play. You swing harder and you miss putts, and so it's a completely different game. Just thinking about the amount of repetitions that Phil and Tiger have had on the golf course, hitting all those shots, I can relate that as Tom can to throwing a football. So it's just different, and when you're out of your comfort zone, it makes it even harder.
What's the best tip Tiger gave you?
You know, I didn't ask for a whole lot of advice just because it's just different. I mean, the way he hits the ball is just not really something that I can relate to, much less anybody. But, on the alternate shot, it's a little like playing football. You have a teammate, and you don't want to hang them out. You don't want to lead a receiver high across the middle.
Right.
I don't want to, put Tiger Woods in bad positions. But it's a little more comforting knowing that you can hit it anywhere around the greens, Rich, and he can get up and down, put you in for a tap-in. And, I mean, one time, I don't know if you heard the exchange, I hit a drive, and so Tiger was going to be 290 yards out, and he's like, I got this. I mean, I've never heard my friends in Denver say, yeah, I got this from 290 yards out. It's just not something I'm used to hearing in my normal golf game, but that's when you kind of know you're playing with the best in the world, and that certainly made me feel a little more relaxed.
So on the flip side then, Peyton, okay, you have accomplished so much in life. This is a great setup here. You've accomplished so much in life. Where does snaking in a 20-foot real deal birdie, no net anything, real deal birdie to winning a hole for you and Tiger Woods on national television, as you did in the fourth hole on Sunday, where does that rank for you?
I'll tell you, I'll throw it up there, and I have to give my partner a great assist. I mean, not only is he the greatest golfer of all time, he is by far the best caddy and green reader ever in history. I mean, you talk about pressure on those putts because he tells you, hit it right here at this speed, and it'll go in. I mean, his ability to read those greens, and I think he reads a lot of his greens, obviously, when he's playing, probably gets confirmation from, Joey, his caddy. So, but you feel like you're getting a really good read, and I could just hit it to that spot. So that felt good. Knowing my partner was, I think, 7 feet away for birdie himself.
Yes.
I felt like he was going to make it, so that probably helped me relax a little bit. But it was definitely a team effort, and it always feels good when you see one go in the hole.
I mean, that I was just that. I really, for a moment, put myself in your shoes saying that would be the greatest thing I've ever done. I mean, of all time, that it goes right in. And it's just, again, it's no candy. That was real. You fired at the pin. You hit it from where you landed, and you got it in the hole. And you just, to turn to Tiger Woods and say, you can pick yours up. I got it. I mean,
yeah,
that's it.
That did feel good. I'm not going to lie. You made me be non-humble for a minute. That did feel good. Knowing you can tell Tiger picked that up. That was probably the best part about it.
I got you, Tiger. Don't worry. I got you. I mean, that's the greatest. That's going to be the greatest. I mean, that's, oh my God. I was rooting for you right there. Peyton Manning here on the Rich Eisen Show. So tonight on NBC SN, your SNL hosting gig from March 24th, 2007 is going to be re-aired at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. What are your recollections of that night, Peyton?
Well, it's funny. I was thinking about it just the other day because someone sent me a social media post of me throwing the footballs at those kids in the United Way skit, and they had subbed the kids' faces for Tom Brady's and Phil Mickelson's. So I was pegging Phil and Tom these footballs. It was pretty good, almost as good as the kind of the Instagram post that Tom started out the match trash talking with. So I was thinking about it, and I get asked about that a lot, Rich, and I've told this before, but I wasn't really nervous because it was live, and I was used to doing live and used to probably screwing up live a lot on Sunday afternoons. But but you also have a week to prepare, and you have kind of rehearsals, right? You know, you don't have that in golf, but that one particular skit was the most out of the box for me. It kind of was. I felt a little over the edge, and I was talking to the guy. I was like, my mom's going to be so disappointed when she sees this. He's like, look, you're charitable. It's a spoof of United Way. That's why it's going to be funny, you know. But you got to be all in. I mean, you got to whack these kids right in the face. And this is Andy Samberg, who's kind of my coach on this. And so he finally gets me to say, all right, I'm in for it. And we're doing it, and these kids are there. Their parents are out there watching. And I finally just said, you know, I just can't. I can't do it. I mean, these parents are watching me peck these kids in the head. And then right as we were about to kind of cancel it, one of the parents literally runs out there and tells the director, no. I want him to hit my kid in the face. And I said, you know what? I will do it. I will knock your kid out. Thank you for giving me your blessing and permission. And after that, I was
oh, God, I think we lost him again.
Jeez, after that. So.
Oh, man. So, but you needed your arm twisted initially when they gave you that as an idea. You needed to have your arm twisted a little bit first.
Oh, I certainly had some reservations, and you know, I mean, I guess I see the concept, and it's one thing when you're, you know, I mean, picking the car and you know and those kind of things, but you know, I remember the guy said, like, just treat these kids like they're rookie wide receivers with really bad attitudes. I was like, okay, all right, I could go there, I can find that place. I know those receivers that think they know it all, and they're wearing their college bowl gear and their combine gear out there in the locker room. I can go to that spot, but still, you know, and you get reminded that this kid's 9 years old, and you're yelling at this cute girl and a cute 9-year-old in a pink sweater, pink, watch the blitz. You know, that's when I was definitely out of my comfort zone.
People are still talking about it, and again, it'll be on the air tonight on NBCSN for people to check out and comment. Hey, before I let you go, just a couple of quick things. Your brother's on Twitter now. Eli comes out of the box with a reference to Hoosiers, and then in response to Brady giving him a little bit of grief, drops Caddyshack. Very, very impressive beginning for Eli.
Strong out of the block, strong movie references, Hoosiers, Caddyshack. I think Eli and I, Cooper can probably tell you every single line from Hoosiers and Caddyshack. So,
oh God, yeah,
strong out of the blocks for little brother.
Does that mean you're next? Are you joining? When are you joining?
I wouldn't hold your breath.
Come on.
You know, I'm still, you know, I used to have a flip phone up until a couple of years ago, Rich. So
Come
I'm
on.
still kind of catching up.
Come on. But you're still seeing it. People are sending you. You said people are sending you stuff. Are you out there looking? Did you see what people are saying? Or are you one of those?
I mean, I can kind of keep up a little bit, you know, but I'm probably not as up to date as probably everybody else. You know, I mean, Tom and Phil are, and that was what Tiger and I said. You know, when early on, the four of us kind of had a group text and. We kind of said, wow, it's always been a goal for me and Tiger to beat a couple of professional Instagrammers. It was really high on our bucket list. So, so I'm probably a little bit old school that way. I lived a long time without it and before it ever existed. So I guess I kind of think I can probably keep surviving without it.
I bet so. And last one for you, Peyton, is just everyone. I get this all the time. I'm sure you do too. Certainly when we see what you know, how obviously comfortable you are talking and being yourself at a microphone. Do you have any desire at any point to call games, to be a broadcaster? I know you've had opportunities. I'm wondering if that is still something that would be of interest to you at some point.
Yeah, Rich, I haven't, you know, said no forever. I've said no to this year. It just doesn't feel like the right time, and you know, I hate sort of kind of having this sort of check with me next year type deal. But that's really how I've approached this chapter. I just, you know, I believe in taking a year at a time. That's kind of what Eli's doing. You know, he's taking this year off. It's not really the way he wanted to start. He's living in quarantine. He's teaching his 8-year-old his 9-year-old daughter common denominators. God bless my niece, knowing Eli and his teaching skills. Wow. So that's what I've tried to do. And, I don't really have a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan. I hear people say that. I love playing football. I loved everything about it. And I've just tried to ease into this second chapter by keeping myself busy, keeping myself stimulated, creating a lot of time for our family and to do some things I haven't had a chance to do. So, look, I love watching the games, Rich. I love going to games. We still go to all the Broncos games. I get to Colts games. I kind of catch myself sort of analyzing the game in my head when I'm watching it. I kind of always did that as a player. When you watch other games, you sort of play the game in your mind. And so I don't do it quite to the extent that I'm not playing, but I still enjoy doing it. I enjoy listening to, Chris Collinsworth and Tony and Troy Aikman and all the good broadcasters that are doing their jobs. And, of course, guys like Jim and Al and Joe Buck are fun to listen to. But just not in the cards for me right now, but can't really say never, forever.
So, in the meantime, we'll just compete with Romo on the golf course now because we could see it. We see it.
No chance. Hey, Tony's got serious game, and so Tony's closer to Phil and Tiger than me and Tom are on the golf side. So he's got that figured out. So I'm going to stay right in my lane. I'm going to stay with my kind of Tuesday golf game group here in Denver, and some high handicappers, some low handicappers, but I'm going to stay right in my lane.
Well, go hit them straight, and thanks for the time, Peyton. You are the man. Send my best to your family. Send my best to your parents, to your family, and everybody. Hope everybody's happy and healthy and safe.
Hey, Rich, stay safe. All the best, pal.
Right back at you. That's Peyton Manning right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.